Welcome once again to Oh Heavens, where we're thinking about heaven. Hopefully you have your reservations. I have mine. And if you believe and trust and follow Jesus, your reservations are made, my friend, and this conversation is just for you because we're answering some big questions about heaven so we understand it better and maybe even look forward to it a little bit more. This question is, what will our glorified bodies look like? So we've been talking about getting a new body in the last couple episodes. We've been talking about what happens to a body if it's been destroyed, and we kind of dealt with that a little bit. It's a fair question. What will our new bodies look like? Will they just be floating spirits? Well, we don't know all the details about our future bodies. Scripture indicates that they're going to resemble the resurrected body of Jesus. Now, Philippians tells us that, and Corinthians tells us that. Now, what we know about that is that after his resurrection, yet before his ascension, Jesus said his body was real. He invited his disciples to touch him. In Luke, he says, "For a spirit doesn't have flesh and bones, as you see that I have." And so when we get to heaven, we're going to have a flesh and bone type of body. Not a spirit body that just floats around and hovers. We're going to have real bodies, physical, transformed bodies, somehow similar to the resurrected body that we catch a little bit of a glimpse of when Jesus came back from the grave. We know that things were a little bit different. He had the ability to move through doors that weren't necessarily open. He had the ability to appear and then disappear. And so there's a lot that this new body is going to do that we don't have a spec book on yet. We don't have any idea. We don't know how or what we're going to be able to do. We don't know if that's something that Jesus could exclusively do, whether our new transformed bodies have that same capability. We don't know that, and we don't need to know that. What we need to know is that we get a new body, and the model that we have of it comes from Jesus himself. So, when you die, you're not going to be a floating spirit that's going to float around and harass or haunt or create havoc in the world around you. You're not going to float from cloud to cloud to cloud or fall through the clouds in the heavens. That's not the way it's going to work. You get a real body that you can touch, that you can feel. It's going to be physical, and it's going to be different than the one we have. But here's what I know about that body. That body is tailor-made, especially for you, and equips you to experience eternity as God intended it. When you think about it that way, nothing could go wrong, and it won't. And so we'll continue our look at heaven in our next episode.